Welcome to Money First CEO, the podcast for business owners ready to run their business like a boss and make their money work smarter, not harder. I'm Harman Johnston, bookkeeper, Profit First professional, business coach, and mum of two from Sydney, Australia. I've built a thriving business by mastering money habits and systems that create real freedom. This show will help you take control of your finances so you can build a business and life that truly works for you. Every episode delivers one powerful takeaway you can action right away for more clarity, confidence, and cash. And from time to time, I'll be joined by special guests, fellow entrepreneurs, experts, and real business owners, sharing their money wins, lessons, and insights to inspire your next move. Because when you put money first, you unlock the options and freedom you deserve. So hit follow, grab your coffee, and let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to the Money First CEO, where we believe if you put your money first, the rest will follow. Today, we're talking about something that could save your business from unnecessary stress or even collapse, financial red flags, and how to catch them early. Because the truth is, your numbers will whisper to you before they scream, and you just need to know how to listen and what to look out for. So let's dig in. Your business doesn't go broke overnight. It erodes slowly and quietly at first. Watch for these whispers. First one being low or unpredictable cash flow. You have sales, but not enough liquid cash. You're waiting on invoices to pay bills. Consistently high or spiking expenses. Tools, subscriptions, or contractors are creeping up. Monthly costs are climbing without a clear reason. You're not paying yourself regularly, or you're dipping into your personal savings to fund the business. Overdue invoices or tax payments, pushing off payments or avoiding your bookkeeping. That's a big one. Consistently low bank balance. No cushion for unexpected bills. These are the red flags, not to shame you or anything, but to call your attention. Spot them early and you can act quickly. Now, when to act and what to check. The earlier you act, the easier it is to fix some of these things. Right now, it might even take you 15 to 30 minutes. So review your bank health. What's your actual cash position versus upcoming bills? Or if you're doing profit first, then audit your profit first allocations. Are you transferring profit, owners pay, tax, and OPEX as planned? If you haven't, why? What happened? Scan recent expenses. Any subscriptions or services you don't need? Check overdue invoices, and that's a big one. Who owes you money and how long has it been past due? Awareness isn't scary, it's a relief. Once you see the real picture, you can lead confidently. So how do we course correct with small changes? You don't need a full financial overhaul, just a few smart shifts. Tighten expenses. Cancel one underused tool or pause non-essential spending for 30 days. And that is something I'm currently doing in my business, especially for this month and possibly next month as well. Because leading into 30th of June, end of financial year, there were too many promotions and some of them I had been eyeing. So when they had a discount, I got in, bought it, and then realised I didn't have the money. But lucky for me, I have a profit vault account, I have a freedom fund. So I have all this money tucked away in these different accounts for these sort of things. So I use them to pay the bills, but now I'd like to refill them, which is why I'm pausing all expenses until those buckets are full again. Collect what's owed. So this is something I see all the time when the clients are like, oh, I don't have enough money. I was like, okay, let's look at your receivables. How much are you owed? And for some reason, it's something people are not interested, or I don't know if it's scary or daunting that they just don't want to address that. I've got a client, they've got over $500,000 owed to them. And it's like, how come you're not prioritizing that? You have to follow up your debtors. The work is done, the service is provided, the invoice needs to be paid. And if it isn't, why? Either they don't have the money to pay it, or they're not happy with the work they got, or you're just not chasing, so they are sitting on it, waiting for someone to call so they can pay. So, especially for work that's done, you need to get payment so you have the cash to pay your bills. So send follow-ups. Maybe if you're really desperate, offer an early payment discount and tighten payment terms. Like especially with a lot of building clients, they charge a percentage or interest if invoice is not paid on time. And that usually gets people to pay attention and action, or give people an option to pay by card. It's very easy if you're using Xero to link it with a Stripe account where people can just click pay by credit card. It just takes away that hassle and time that someone has to go into their bank and put in your BSB and account number and pay. They can just easily pay with a click of a button. So try and make it easy for customers to pay it as well. And increase your margins possibly. Revisit when was the last time you raised your prices. Maybe it's time to rethink, because what you're charging versus what you're actually paying might not be, at that level where it needs to be. So you might be paying more but charging less. So just revisit that, review your margins. And if it's been more than 12 months since your last price review or price raise, then possibly have a look. Reestablish owner's pay. Even if it's $100 a month, you need to pay yourself first. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I talk about it pretty much on every episode. And I've done a special episode on it as well. You need to pay yourself, because we need to build that habit and treat you as a CEO. And the last one is build a safety buffer. I spoke about creating a freedom fund or a vault account where you are putting 1% to 2% each week into a safety account, or building up an emergency account, however you want to name it. But you need to have an account where you can build a buffer for unexpected expenses so your business doesn't collapse. Every change signals to your business, this is under control and we are leading again. So some red flags and fixes recap. If you have a low bank account, follow up overdue customer invoices or review the money owed. If your invoices are overdue, automate your reminders, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and see the possibility of automating payment collection. Maybe see if your business can introduce direct debit. Spikes in expenses, monthly review expenses. I just skim through my P&L in a quick, and I can see which accounts have moved. And usually just looking at it, I will know exactly why it spiked, because, oh yeah, I had this or I traveled. But if not, you need to look into it and dipping into your profit. If you are, then pause all spending until those funds are returned. No financial reports. You need to create a weekly dashboard with your revenue, expenses, and profit. So at a quick glance, you can see how things are trending. Declining profit margins, raise your prices or renegotiate supplier rates. We did talk about raising prices, but how about looking at what we're paying? Sometimes just a simple phone call to a supplier asking for a discount might work. Relying on credit. Ideally, I say, and Profit First normally says, no credit cards, no overdrafts. So try and get rid of them so your business runs itself. Or if you do have them, then only use it for emergencies, which if you use Profit First will be rare. No budgets or forecast. Since using Profit First, I don't really do budgets in my business. I just do forecasting, and I use a special tool called Profit First Profit for my Profit First forecasting. But otherwise, just create a quick list of monthly fixed and variable costs so you can predict what your upcoming expenses are, because revenue you can predict, but expenses sometimes you can't. So that way you know exactly how much money you need to pay versus what you've got coming in. How is it looking? And if it's not looking too good in 3 months' time, you can take action today to fix that. And the last one is too much inventory. If there's not enough money in the bank, possibility is that you have a lot of unsold stock. So maybe offer a discount, bundle some of the slow movers, or set reorder minimums to kind of clear some of that stock. And red flags aren't failures. They're actually signals to act. So who to call in? You don't have to do it alone. You can speak to a bookkeeper, especially if your books are messy and you don't have that financial clarity or you don't understand where to look, what to look for. They can clean up your records and reconcile accounts and give you that clear picture. Or a profit strategist or a financial coach. They can help you optimize allocations, set new targets, especially if you are doing Profit First or wanting to do Profit First. And also an accountant, because yes, they can handle tax issues, but if your debt is really big, they might even be able to help you with debt restructuring. So even a single session with one of these can create a clear plan and relieve your stress. And why avoidance costs more? Here's the truth. Avoidance costs more than awareness. Ignoring a small overdue invoice can lead to a bigger cash crunch. Letting unchecked expenses pile up means bigger cuts later. So every time you look, check, and act, you reclaim your power as a CEO. It's not failure, it's leadership. So what's the big takeaway for today's episode? Block 30 minutes to review your numbers. Spot one red flag from today's list and implement its fix. Buffer, transfer, invoice reminder, expense cancel for 4 weeks straight. And that's your starting point. Small steps build big confidence. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening to The Money First CEO. If this episode gave you clarity or courage, share it with a fellow founder stuck in avoidance. Until next time, put your money first and the rest will follow. Thanks for hanging out with me on Money First CEO. If you got value from this episode, hit subscribe, drop a 5-star review, and share it with someone who's building their business too. All the goodies are in the show notes, and you can find me on socials, more tips and tools to help you. Until next time, keep putting money first, and the rest will follow.